Good morning, everybody. This is our astrology weather forecast for October 26th, 2025. I can't get my card in there. I'll put him in there that way. And we have got the moon coming into Capricorn around 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Not a lot of exact aspects today. That's okay with Neptune and Saturn all backed up into Pisces. We don't need to put a lot onto that old sinking ship. We do have a sesquiquadrate between Venus and Uranus, which is one exact thing that's going on today. And this has us wrestling with the urge to merge with the need to be free. We can get that with different combinations of planets. The one is drawing us towards some kind of cooperative experience or something that involves balance or others, connection, fulfillment. But there's another part of us that's a polar opposite that does not want what that one part of us wants. So we have to find an integration, a balance, a way of getting two parts of our lives met, of finding satisfaction, wholeness, balance, cooperation outside of us that is really a reflection of how we are understanding and bringing peace, satisfaction to ourselves. What are we doing in terms of giving into, understanding, choosing to belong and to be in connection and to maintain our space, our freedom, our right to get to be ourselves. We shouldn't have to give up our freedom, our sovereignty, our, everything we've worked so hard to become. We shouldn't have to give that up to be in relationship or to be employed or to be part of a family. So that's the big deal today. How do I get to be loved and get to love and still get to be myself? Because if we have to give up ourself, if we have to give up our freedom, our sovereignty, what we've worked to become, we're probably not really loving ourselves. If we're choosing external love of another and giving up our authenticity or our fire, we're not really loved, if that's what we have to do. We're probably being used as a tool or as a we're filling a role in someone's life. If we're playing a role, if we all know what our role is, that's a real stagnant agreement that's keeping us from really discovering what we really want. Because then we're going to have to deal with the terrible, terrible, destructive truth. Yeah, the truth will set you free. But if you have built a life or a relationship or a part of your life or a ego structure, an identity that isn't allowing the truth of what you really want, the authentic desires of your heart to really be expressed and lived out, the truth is going to be terribly destructive in that process of setting you free. And it's that avoidance of the destruction, going through all of that destruction, reconstruction of a life that's actually more suitable to who we really are, if we're really honest with ourselves. It takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of willingness to be able to be seen in ways that previously we were not allowing. We couldn't handle it. So we have to deal with our shame issues if we're going to live really openly and honestly and in a way that's in accordance to our real values. You've got to deal with your shame issues first, because that's always the door that we have to go through. We have to close that door on inauthentic self-expression that was really in service to avoiding the experience of shame because we hadn't healed it yet. And when we aren't ashamed anymore, we're not. We're healed. We have a perspective. We have an honesty. We have this bravery that we did not have before. And when we step into that, we're not afraid of what people will say or what they'll bring up in us. And we're not afraid of being bullied because it doesn't have the effect it used to. Well, they're never going to get us to cower, quake, or bend our head or bend the knee because we don't see ourselves as beneath them or as able to be beaten because we beat our own hungry ghost. Unless you deal with your shadow side, which is going to be always got guilt and shame and avoidance of conflict or embracing it. It's going to be imbalanced. The avoiding or the rushing towards, because it's a defense. We have to alchemize all that and deal with all that. And then what used to take so much energy and courage to stand up to looks really petty and doesn't require really anything of you because you don't give it any of your energy or your attention. Those kinds of people, situations, conditions, relationships, they shrink and atrophy on their own. There's nothing that you have to do except be yourself. And what isn't in alignment with you, what isn't in tune, what can't meet you where you are, if you just don't engage with it, you don't give your attention to it, it'll just go away. It'll shrink on its own if it isn't fed. Feed what's good for you, and it will respond in kind. If you feed what's bad for you, it will respond in kind. It's all feedback.